I'm Jatin with Gram from Verito. One number before we start, 86%. Hold on to that, I'll come back to it. Last episode was a heavy one. FTC safeguards rule, 9 elements, penalty math. If you're still processing that, I don't blame you. Today is a much lighter fit. Phishing simulations, what they are, whether your firm should run them, and how to do it without making your team hate you. I'll also share some free tools you can start using literally this week. So why does this matter? Phishing is still the single most common way attackers get into accounting firms, and it's not close. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, estimates that over 90% of successful cyber attacks begin with a phishing email. Over 90%. And Verizon's 2025 data breach investigations report back it up from the other side. 60% of breaches involve a human element. Someone actually clicked. Someone typed credentials into a fake page. Someone opened an attachment that looked legitimate. MFA, backups, encryptions, those are technical controls. Set them up, configure them. They work whether your team is paying attention or not. Phishing goes around all of that. It targets the person, not the system. So no amount of technology stops someone from typing their password into a convincing fake login page. So the question isn't whether phishing is a risk for your firm. It is. The real question, do you know how your team would respond if a phishing email landed in their inbox right now? If you don't know, a phishing simulation will tell you. So what a phishing simulation actually is. Quick honesty check. When was the last time someone on your team forwarded you a suspicious email and asked, hey, is this real? If the answer is never, or you're not sure, that's worth sitting with. A phishing simulation is exactly what it sounds like. You send your team a fake phishing email, one that looks like a real thing, but it is completely harmless, and you see what happens. Who clicks? Who enters credentials? Who reports it? Who ignores it entirely? It's a fire drill for your inbox. Like any fire drill, the point isn't to catch anybody doing something wrong. It's to find out whether your team's instincts are strong and where they need help. You might be thinking, Jatin, do we really need to run fake phishing attacks on our own people? Yes, but maybe not for the reason you would expect. It's not about catching the person who clicks. It's about building muscle memory. So when the real one hits, your team's first instinct is to pause, look twice, and report it. So why most firms do this wrong? Here's where I need to be direct, because this is the part most phishing advice gets wrong. A lot of firms and a lot of vendors, honestly, treat phishing simulations like a test. Pass or fail. Click the link, you're in trouble, get called out in front of your team, maybe a pop-up says you failed in a big red banner. That approach is toxic, and the data backs that up. Run simulations as a gotcha, two things happen. First, trust breaks down. Your team feels surveilled instead of supported. They stop reporting suspicious emails because they're afraid of being wrong, afraid of looking paranoid. Second, the actual security behavior you want, which is reporting, goes down, not up. Research from Hawks Hunt found that when firms shift from a punitive method to an educational one, phishing report rates climb from around 7% to over 20%. That's the number that actually matters, not the click rate, the report rate. Because in a real attack, the firm that survives isn't the one where nobody clicks. That's unrealistic. It's the firm where somebody clicks and then immediately tells someone. So don't measure the click, measure the report. Build a culture where reporting a suspicious email is celebrated, not punished. Even if the email turns out to be legitimate, especially if it turns out to be legitimate, you want your team to over-report, not under-report. Remember the 86% I asked you to hold? Here's where it comes from. KnowBe4 is one of the largest security awareness training platforms, and they publish an annual report on phishing simulation results across all their clients. Their 2025 data, the average baseline phish burn percentage, the share of employees who fall for a simulated phishing email before any training, is 33.1%. That's 1 in 3. Now the good news. After 12 months of combined training and simulation, that number drops by 86%, from 1 in 3 down to roughly 1 in 20. That's not marginal improvement. That's a fundamentally different security posture for your firm. The key phrase is combined training and simulation, because simulation alone isn't enough. Send fake phishing emails without any educational follow-up, the improvement plateaus. The simulation identifies the gap. The training closes it. You need both. Which is also why the FTC safeguards rule, the one we covered last episode, specifically requires security awareness training under Element 5. Phishing simulation with educational follow-up satisfy that requirement in writing. Here's the part I've been waiting to get to. 2 tools. One takes an afternoon, one takes 5 minutes. Both free. First, GoPhish, the afternoon one. It's an open source phishing simulation framework, completely free. You host it yourself, set realistic campaigns, track who clicks, build a real baseline for your firm. It does require a little technical setup, so if you've got someone comfortable with basic server administration, they can have it running in an afternoon. Link is in the description. Second, Google Jigsaw's phishing quiz, the 5-minute one. Google's Jigsaw team built a free phishing quiz at phishingquiz.withgoogle.com. 8 real-world examples. You identify which are legitimate and which are phishing. I'd have your entire team take it as a starting point. 5 minutes each, and I promise you at least one email will fool somebody. And that's a conversation starter, not a fail. So GoPhish for the baseline, Google Jigsaw for the training, both free, both this week. If you want something more turnkey, campaigns, training modules, and reporting all handled for you, that's where a managed service comes in. But don't let perfect be the enemy of good. A free tool and a 5-minute quiz beat doing nothing every time. If you're a WiredGuard Pro or Elite firm, security awareness training and phishing simulation are included in your managed IT package. We run simulated campaigns on a regular cadence, provide educational follow-up for anyone who clicks, track your firm's report rate over time, and document it for a compliance file. That last part matters. When the FTC or your insurance carrier asks whether you've trained your team, you've got the evidence. And if you're not a WiredGuard firm and you want help setting up a simulation program, reach out, we'll get you started. Here's what I want you to do this week. 2 things. 1, have your team take the Google Jigsaw phishing quiz. 5 minutes, drop the link in your team chat, your email, wherever your team actually looks. When someone gets one wrong, and they will, don't make it a thing, make it a learning moment. Hey, that one fooled me too. Here's what to look for. 2, start tracking one number, your report rate. When a suspicious email comes in, does your team tell someone? If they don't, you don't have a reporting problem, you have a culture problem. Fix the culture, then add simulation. If you want to go further, set up GoPhish and run a baseline test. Find out where your firm stands. Not to punish anyone, just to know, because knowing is the first step to getting better. One question to leave you with until Tuesday. Do you know which specific attack against accounting firms spike hardest during tax season? Because they do. The volume goes up, the pressure goes up, and the attackers know both. Next Tuesday, we get into what's targeting your firm right now. Real examples, real tactics, real defenses. I'm Jatin, this is Firm Ground from Verito. Stay safe and stay blessed.